All right, Jackie, thank you. And it was a storm we all remember about a year ago that probably caused some of that sand to disappear.
Yeah, eventually it came up here and caused that problem. But, you know, right now it was 220 miles east-southeast of Barbuda, that small island out there in the Caribbean. And it had winds at 185 with gusts up to 220, a Category 5 major hurricane. It was heading toward Barbuda, unfortunately. For us, we have had a storm, Gordon, move on by quickly. It's, for the most part, just a tropical depression now, still causing problems for Florida, though. The Panhandle got hit the hardest with the heaviest rainfall falling in the northwestern portion of the state. Now, the Vailways webcam showing these showers moving on through some pretty heavy rainfall at times, and it looks like that should be over in the next 10 to 15 minutes at Siesta Key. Well, there goes Gordon. It's still a tropical depression, 30-mile-an-hour winds, but notice the deep reds here on the infrared satellite imagery showing up over the Panhandle of Florida, and more out there moving onshore where they've already had about a foot of rainfall estimated from the Doppler radar site coming out of the Panhandle of Florida. And this isn't going to end for at least the next few hours, so more moisture will pile in and cause flooding concerns up there. For us, we've had these showers popping up in this dry air sector, but some heavy lightning occurring near Siesta Key, Venice, stretching southward down into parts of Inglewood at times, but for the most part staying away from the extreme South County. You can see that lightning still occurring outside the rain area, so although the rain is lessening in Venice, there's still the potential for some lightning back behind it, and Siesta Key just about to clear out of there. As we look at closer, you can still see some rain falling there, but as I mentioned, the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it's all going to be out in the Gulf of Mexico, so it should be improving for tonight's sunset, which happens just before 8 o'clock. There's another line of showers popping up here in northwest DeSoto County, pushing toward the west to southwest at 10 to 15. Not a lot in Manatee at this hour, but still there's a chance for a pop-up shower or two, and we don't expect it to be around long. This upper level low you see spinning right here, this is going to be moving in on Thursday, and with it, it'll push this dry air out that's in place right now. That means a little bit more widespread shower and thunderstorm activity in the afternoon on Thursday and Friday. But for tonight, most of the rain will be over by 9 o'clock. We'll look for fair skies. It should be pretty nice for drop-off for the kids tomorrow and for the bus ride to school. And then the afternoon and evening, though, different story. Showers and storms developing. Some of those could be strong at times and pushing off toward the west, producing a lot more lightning around. And I think same can be true for, unfortunately, football Friday night. We're going to see a pretty good chance for some showers and storms working their way up the coast. Well, this is another major hurricane. In 24 hours, it's gone from a Category 1 to a 4. Rapid intensification, despite the fact that the upper level winds were strong throughout this region, at least indicated by the satellite imagery, but it must have found a little hole in that, and so it's really intensified into a Category 4 storm. And you can see the winds now up to 130 miles an hour, moving to the northwest at 13. Now, day 5, there's a big spread here. That's because the forecast models are suggesting that high pressure may build over the top of it and push it more in a westerly course. In fact, if you take a look at some of the forecast models, this is the UK Met right there we saw in the last frame, has it moving more toward the west. This is the European model showing Florence developing and staying as a strong Category 3 or 4 hurricane here on Tuesday of next week, and then moving on in toward or close to Virginia and the Northeast. These other systems out there in the Atlantic tend to move off into the open waters of the Atlantic, but this one could be concerned in about 10 days from now. It's a long way off, a lot can happen, but it still bears watching with Florence. It's not done yet. As far as boaters are concerned, east winds turn to the north. 5 to 10 knots tomorrow, so a light chop on the bays and in the waters. You just have to look out for those afternoon and evening storms. Thursday, a good chance for more storms in the afternoon. These are all afternoon variety of storms right through Saturday, a little bit better chance, but Sunday it drops down a little bit, and that's simply because some dry air that slips in on Sunday and Monday. We go back, though, on Tuesday and Wednesday to those afternoon and evening storms. So summer not quite over yet. Back to you.